Hey everyone. So back, just talked about company cam. Let's talk about scope of work. I have two forms. I'm going to show you two versions. Both of them are on the Facebook under the files tab. You can download them. They're both excellent. I have a couple other versions. One's really short. Um, you definitely want to get a good scope of work and you want to work with your contractor on it to identify costs. Um, and then there's some different ones if we do, you'll get into with you do multifamily as far as the deal analyzers or short-term rentals. This one's pretty much geared towards fix and flips and rental properties for single family. You want to get as much detail, get your quotes, get your materials estimates. You can go to Home Depot and Lowe's to the pro desk. That's why you set up, like we're talking about in your business entity, set up your own LLC for your construction entity, your project management entity, and get your contractor credit, get your Home Depot contractor card, your Lowe's contractor card, get a pro account because you get a lot of discounts. Not to mention that I once had Shell gas. I had a Shell card with my Home Depot account, and I would normally pay like less than $1 for a full tank of gas with my rewards. That is so critical now. So think about that, how much money you're going to be spending on materials. So you want to have a really detailed scope of work, get all your estimates, get them all together, and work with your contractor to build this, get them to sign off on it. So real quick, I'm going to go in and show you the two variations that I have. Uh, this is actually one that's um, pretty short, and I have it on. Like I said, it's in the. It just goes into some details. They talk about stages, like you may want to do in your first draw. Your initial draw maybe want to be, draw one, draw two. You got through five draws, and then you got to count, which could be the final. And you obviously have stage one. Stage one are usually soft, soft plans. It's usually your temporary power, maybe some light excavation, your plans, your architect, survey, engineer. You get into stage two, you got your footings, foundation, things like that. This is a pretty, detailed oriented as far as, get into hardwood floors, your tile and stuff like that. So it's pretty easy to do this one. You can estimate your costs and then how you're going to divide it up. If it's going to be, you know, if you're going to be doing your plans, you're going to have some engineers along the way. Maybe you have, maybe in draw three, maybe draw one, you have $1,000, $2,000, but in draw three you have one, and then you have zero, 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 and then at the end maybe for architect inspections or something like that. So it just depends. So this is a pretty detailed. You can add on to this. Just do another cell. That's pretty easy to do. Um, and then if you get into the other one, I can do. Um, this is a little bit more detailed, a little longer. You can put your logo in here. This is just an example, but here it starts breaking up into four draws. You can just obviously go out to more if you need to, but here you can start getting down. Your soft costs are going to be your permit fees, your site security, insurance. Here it just has some numbers. So this is just the example. It gives you replace different things for your exterior, obviously your windows, your landscaping, your curb appeal. You're going to do your interior, your plumbing, your electrical framing, your drywall, cabinets, countertops, appliances. You get a contingency. They put 5%. I will generally put, especially now, I might put as high as 20%. 10% is probably good, but 20%. Keep in mind on where it says draw fees and wire fees. This is for a ground floor. They're one of my lenders, and I use this one a lot because it's pretty good. Um, so draw floor, they charge for draws $175, and they have a wire fee. So it's about $200. So you got to factor that in and know in advance what your fees are going to be paying. If they're most of these are draw fees are generally what they pay an inspector. Now you can talk to your lender because if you use company cam, you might just be able to avoid these and actually just go straight to use pictures and video from company cam to put this $200 back in your pocket. So that's something always worth asking. So it gets into your schedule. Now this is your schedule, so you can put your picture, you can put your information and all that, and you can get into all kinds of stuff. It gets into roof, your decking, your siding. It gets down to your lighting. So it's pretty involved, construction contingency, and it's pretty simple to use. So both of these are on the in the files tab section of the groups.com. I mean, facebook.com/groups/ other people's money show. And you can just download both of these versions if you need another one. I've got a couple more. So I got probably a total about five different variations of the scope of work. So you're going to want to have all your documents in order as well, your bids, your estimates, any, things like that, material estimates. I would go to the pro desk and basically do a list. This way, you're not going in there and shopping. Go in there and do a list with the pro desk or with a representative, and do everything you're buying at Home Depot or Lowe's all the way through the project and get one list. And that way, you got that one. You can add like 5% contingency if it's going to be over a couple of weeks. You can add a contingency for labor. Work with your contractor. Work with the pro desk. Things like that, and that'll help a lot. So it's a really good system to have. So I'll stop sharing. Like I said, having a good detailed scope of work is going to help you. It's going to help you manage your draws. It's going to help you know when to pay your contractors. If you team up your draw schedule with your scope of work and with Company Cam, you are going to be golden. You're going to make more money. You're going to have less hassles. And there's also a job box. I'll kind of show it in a video, but you can buy a box that basically has like slots for it, and it's got the inspection card. They'll have a window, like a plastic window. You stick the permit inspection in there, and you can actually lock it and put it in the. You can do a couple different ways to put it at the door. So that way an inspector can come by and do the inspections and the sign-offs. But you also can have all your documents in there. You can have sets of plans. There's a couple different variations of those, and I'll get into some of those later on. You can also use a variety of, I'm going to show you HomeWise. There's a couple different ways you can do some estimates as well on your own, especially if you're going to be able to do like a lot of the work yourself without a contractor. There's some ways I'm going to show you when we get around to being able to use the 4K camera and stuff to be able to talk to you about. And I'll have some contractors come on as well and explain to you some, how to work with them, how to find one, how to find a competent one. We're going to go into how to make sure they're licensed and insured and all that stuff, and they're not like just giving you a document. Hey, I'm insured. They paid one payment, haven't paid the rest of the payments on their policy. It's been canceled, but you don't think you're going to need their insurance until something happens. And trust me, that's usually when something happens. So speaking from experience, when I was in the construction industry. So anyway, like I said, you can go to facebook.com/group/other people's money show. All these documents and stuff are available for download. And then you can please like, share, and subscribe to YouTube. We'll have the 4K camera. We'll have graphics. We've got a lot of stuff going on, editing software. So we're going to be able to do classes specific for single family rentals, single family flips, multifamily, syndications, rentals, residential assisted living, self-storage, short-term rentals, spec homes. There's going to be a lot of different tracks in there that are going to help you, and they're going to be subscriber only. So with that, I thank you. I'm going to come back and talk to you about draw schedule.